So now we're going to move into our foundation slabs. For this class, we're recommending the use of an 8-inch cast-in-place concrete slab for your foundation, and that's going to be at the ground level, or if you have a basement, it's going to be at the basement level. You might already have this floor in, so if you followed the floors tutorial, which was probably more common to follow than the walls tutorial, you don't need to necessarily get the walls in place early. But the floors are really helpful for creating a grid, so you might already have a floor in place. What we want to do is actually adjust some of these elements so that it's not sort of covering any porch areas or areas that are outside which don't necessarily need a foundation. So we're going to double click into our sketch if you already have a floor, or you can go into architecture floor, and you can either choose a structural or an architectural floor. It doesn't really matter. Just know that the structural and the architectural floor families are different, so you can't necessarily you can use architectural floors as structural floors, but there's a parameter over here where you can see that these are structural. If you're using an architectural floor, you're sketching it, you can use your walls or you can use your grid lines when you're sketching this in. Now once you have that done, if you need to adjust it, you can always double click, or you can select the element and hit edit boundary, and just try and move the floor so it's, at least at the edge of the columns. And we don't have to be 100% accurate here because we can always change this after the fact. And that's what's really nice about Revit. We can sort of put generic things in and we can adjust them as we need to. So if you don't have a lot of time right now, it's totally fine to get it close and not have to worry about it being 100% accurate. So that looks good. I'm going to hit check. You're probably getting a lot of notices when you're adjusting your floor that said, do you want to attach or do you want to detach the walls? It doesn't matter, honestly. I tend to just choose not to attach. So if you're having that error, don't worry about it. So now we need to change this to a structural slab. Now in the concrete tutorial, I already showed you how to do a concrete slab 6 inches. So the process is the same. You can select this concrete slab and start with that, making sure that it's a structural floor. You can edit the type, duplicate the type, rename it, and then you have to go into the structure and edit its thickness to be 8 inches. You can keep this material as a cast-in-place concrete and keep that structural material checked. So I've already done that. You can see I have this foundation slab here that's 8 inches, and that's pretty much it. We're done with the foundation slab. Again, you don't have to be so concerned as to exactly where this lines up. We can always tailor that when we need to. Just keep in mind we don't really need to care about loading zones right now. If you have an overhang and you have a porch somewhere, then you don't really have to worry about that. Or if you have a courtyard, we don't even have to worry about that. We can keep those as sort of architectural elements.